Creating content on the internet is not an easy task. There is an incredible amount of time and energy that gets putting into making videos. It takes money, investing in camera equipment and up-leveling our skills. There's no doubt that this can constantly be leaving creators like you and I burnt out and tired, frustrated, just not really sure what the path looks like moving forward. And on top of all of that, the hardest part of it all is that this idea or this loop that plays in my brain is that if I don't keep creating content, somebody else will. So in this video, I want to share with you my burnout story, how I got out of it, and then some of the key strategies and frameworks that I follow on a daily and weekly basis in order to continue creating content on the internet while still running my full-time video business where I create content for clients. So I'm creating double the amount of media on a weekly basis. I want to share with you my experience and what I've done to help get out of creator burnout, but also prevent it in the future. So to paint a little bit of a before and after, I want to talk about what my life looked like when I was very burnt out. I'm running a video production company full-time, and I was working on average 10 to 12-hour days. This was because I was trying to do it all. I would take all of the big projects, all of the small projects, I would do all the admin work, but then also I would be creating content like this for Instagram in between all of these things, which left me with no break in the entire day. And this got to a point where I got so burnt out that I was in a chronic state of fatigue, chronic anxiety, chronic depression. I was a complete emotional wreck. I couldn't eat food because I was so stressed out. I couldn't digest it. I wasn't sleeping. There were so many things that were happening, and I knew that I had to make a change. Fast forward to today, some of the systems and lifestyle changes that I've implemented allow me to create consistently, but also with less effort. In order to get a different result in life, we have to implement new strategies, new behaviors, new actions. And I know that that sounds surface level and you hear that all over the place, but it is true. And coming from somebody who has had extreme burnout, this is a very important piece, that the decisions and actions that got me here are not going to be decisions and actions that get me to where I want to be. So if that resonated with you, then I want to walk you through my transformation and some of the things that I did, so then hopefully you can take this in your life, implement it, and have similar results that I did, so that way you can get out of creator burnout, but also prevent it moving forward. The first thing that I want to talk about is understanding a little bit that burnout, it is more of an emotional thing than it is anything else. Creative energy is not an infinite resource. It is finite. And you'll hear this from songwriters, like musicians, artists, painters, filmmakers, directors. You can't just be burning the candle at both ends all the time and expect to have great ideas constantly flowing, but also have the energy to do it as well. Like creative energy is life force energy. And if we're not taking breaks, if we're not getting perspective, if we're not getting inspired, then we're gonna basically be constantly creating from this burdened state, which is gonna leave you feeling cooked. It's gonna leave you feeling frustrated. Your ideas aren't gonna come through. You're gonna be tired all the time. So the first piece of advice that I can give you is to take a break. So the best piece of advice that I can give you is that if you don't completely want to take a week off from creating content and go hiking and spend time outside and go for runs, or basically take care of yourself, if you don't want to completely take that off the table, then I find the best hybrid model would be to take a day, batch create a bunch of content, create 4, 5, 6, 7 videos, schedule them on social media for the week, so that way content is still going out. You can schedule on Instagram, you can schedule on YouTube. Create that content, schedule it, delete all of the social media apps off of your phone, and take a break for a week. Don't think about ideas. Don't try to bring your camera places. Get out there, explore, and just live your life for the next week. Hang out with friends, play sports, work out, exercise, go for a swim, hike a mountain, go to a different city. Do whatever you have to do. Take a road trip, but you need to get away from the creating for that energy to replenish itself inside of your body. So that's the first thing I want to mention, is to completely take a break. And if you can take a break for a week, great. If you can take a break for 2 weeks, even better. But my experience was I needed to fully get away from creating content in order to get out of the burnout. The second thing that I want to mention is dialing up self-care. This means continuing to sleep better, drinking more water, hydrating, exercising, getting outside, getting sunlight, getting daylight, spending time with people. But if you are burnt out, that means that you are also physically tired. Your nervous system is taxed. And in my experience, whenever I'm starting to feel a little bit cooked, a little bit tired, a little bit frustrated, irritated, not wanting to do things anymore, the first thing I do is I ramp up self-care. I look at my schedule and I go, great, here's all my workouts. Here's when I'm gonna go for exercise. Here's gonna go for a run or go for a bike ride. Here's all the food I'm gonna eat. You have to dial up the self-care in order to get your body back to a regulated, more balanced state. The last piece that I wanna share is all centered around getting inspired. And this most likely will happen if you do the first two things, which is taking space away from creating content for about a week, as well as taking really good care of yourself. But the third and final piece is to get inspired. And sometimes this means watching your favorite films, watching your favorite content creators, getting out there and doing something different, listening to music, right? Listen to music and go for a run. Like, there are so many ways that we can get inspired and get perspective. If this is something that you want me to go more in depth to, I actually have a Art of Slowing Down workshop that you'll see down there in the description. And this is a 40-minute workshop with a manual as well as a accountability tracker that you can use on your phone or on Google Sheets. And the entire point of the workshop is to get out of burnout and prevent it. And that is a far more in-depth version of the types of things that I'm talking about today. So if that interests you, the link is in the description. You can read more about it. You can get a preview of the workshop and you can go ahead and pick that up. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below if there's anything in particular you want me to talk about. I talk about all things, life, purpose, depth, creativity, and business. So thank you so much for watching this video if you've made it this far, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.